How do you know your math tutor is always hungry? He'll work for Pi. Hey everyone, Joe Workman here, and in this video we're going to be going over the financial functions and the advanced math functions in Pi. We have two examples in the demo file that we're going to be reviewing. It is demo 13 and demo 14. And there are more examples of what you can do with finance and the math things, but we're just going to be looking at those two ones, and hopefully let's dive into it. So as I said, we're going to be looking at demo 13 and 14 of the Pi demo file. And in here, the first demo, we're going to be calculating loan payments. So here in this file, here we can enter in the loan amount. We can actually add the interest rate that we have and the duration of the loan. And this will output the actual loan payment. So if we have a $100,000 loan at a 6.25% interest over 30 years, our monthly mortgage or payment will be $615.72. It's pretty cool, right? I know this is going to be a very widely used function, and it is super, super easy to do in Pi. Let's go ahead and have a look. So here we are in edit mode for demo 13. At the top, we have a text input that allows us to input really large numbers. So we could do 1,000,000, 100,000, whatever. The user just types in a number. Next up, we could do a number input, which has our interest rate. And then I have a select box that does 5, 15, 30, and 40 years. Now, if you check out here, on the select box, the value is just the number, right? So it's 5 and 15 and 30 and 40 is the actual value, even though what the label the person sees is 5 years, 15 years, so on and so forth. And this Pi couldn't be any simpler to actually do. Okay, so first off, you're going to want to make sure in Pi you go and load external libraries. And from the drop-down button, you're going to click on the finance functions. Now, the finance functions actually has a cheat sheet. You can go ahead and show that. And there are some examples of how you can use the various financial functions. Right now, we're going to be using the amortization function. So all you have to do to use that is just finance.am and then parentheses. And then you need to pass it a few things. So you need to pass it the loan amount, which we have as the loan amount field. You need to pass it the loan rate, and you need to pass it the number of years a loan is. Now, this last one is 0. That means that the time that we're passing is going to be years. If this were going to be 1, if we change this to 1, then the amortization expects this amount of time to actually be the number of months. Okay, and we'll see that in the documentation in just a second. But that's really all we need to do, right? So that complex calculation, we have this great little helper function, just finance.am, pass it the 3 particular variables that you need, and you're done. It's going to output the actual payment for you. Couldn't be really any simpler, right? And if you're curious, obviously the way that we are outputting that is we're taking the snippet and we're doing the monthly payment and we're doing the snippet for payment. Now, Pi is also doing a prefix here for the dollar, so it's actually adding the dollar because obviously we want to output this in the currency that we're displaying it as. Next up in demo 14, we're going to be calculating the future rate or the future value of cash flow. So here we have our growth. So let's say I want to grow at 12% per year or 12% per month. Sorry, 12% per month. And then my cash flow is currently $5,000. What is my cash flow going to be after 12 months of growing 12% per month, right? So if by this value, this calculation, I'm going to be making almost $20,000 a month. That's pretty crazy. I wish that was true. So here we are, we're making 12% growth. That's pretty awesome. And as you just dynamically change these values, you'll notice that the cash flow will change along with it. And if you want to see what you're making in 16 months, you're making a whole lot more money. So really exciting. I'm excited to see this and really simple to do as well. So let's jump into edit mode and see how all this is done. Here we have 3 number inputs, our growth rate, our cash flow, and the number of months. And the finance plugin gives us a function called finance.fv. for future value. And this calculates, basically all we need to do is pass in 3 values, our growth rate, our cash flow, and the number of months, and we're done, right? Just like before, I can prefix the dollar amount. And if I show the snippet, I just insert this snippet into wherever I want. And I did that here in the header, and my output is there. Really, really simple, super easy. So if we head over to the Pi FAQs and we go to the external resources learning page, we'll go to the Finance.js docs and we'll see all the various cool functions that we have here. So we saw amortization. So here's the amortization. And here is all the various things, right? We need to do finance.am, and then you have to pass your principal, your rate, the total number of payments, and the type. And the type is either going to be 1 or 0, whether it's years or months. And you can see actual examples here. We have things such as compound annual growth rate, compound interest, discount factor. As you see, there's just a lot of financial equations that this plugin makes it really easy to calculate on your web page. Another popular one is going to be the Rule of 72, right? So at a 10%, at 10% annual rate, how long does it take to double my money, basically, right? So really simple to do. I like this. This is a really cool thing. I think it's going to save you tons of time. Trying to find out and create these equations on your own isn't easy. So we can do that really easily with this finance plugin. Now, I currently don't have any demos that use a lot of the advanced mathematics plugin, but here's the docs for the Math.js. And basically, you'll know if you have to use this plugin. It is for stuff if you want to do algebraic equations, if you need to use big numbers, if you need to do derivatives, some calculus, right? A lot of objects or serialization or stuff like that. You're going to need something like this. So it's really simple. If we just go into some of these here, let's just do let's just go to like the algebra equations, okay? And what you can see here is we could do stuff like math.simplify to string, right? So you can simplify stuff. You can do, here's a derivative, right? And I have actually a good cheat sheet for this baked right into RapidWeaver as well. So if we were to add the advanced math functions, go here, we have advanced math. We could show the cheat sheet. We'll see that we just have some easy examples here. There is a math.round. This is similar to the math.round that's baked into JavaScript. But here that we have tangent, we have logarithmic stuff, square root, we have derivatives. So there's just some more advanced mathematical functions that, a lot of people probably don't need. But if you need them, they're here for you. So pretty cool. But there is a lot of stuff baked straight into the JavaScript, the math JavaScript objects. So have a look at those first so that you don't have to load any more external libraries to get the job done. So there we have it. That is the finance plugins and advanced math plugins for Pi. The finance ones are pretty cool, right? I think we're going to get a lot of use case out of those, especially if you're doing customers or you yourself need some sort of loan calculator or some sort of financial calculators, right? Those function that it provides just save a ton of time and energy. And they're really simple. They're easy to read and understand. Just pass the few parameters that you need that you pull in from the form fields and you're good to go, right? Can't be much simpler than that. So I hope you're enjoying Pi. As always, post to Weaverspace what you're doing with it. I'd love to see it and show others that we can all learn, from what you're doing. That's cool because we all want to be cool too. So take care. I hope you're enjoying Pi and we'll see you in the Weaverspace community.